Well, today's the day.
Let me explain. Although I'm beyond excited to share with you guys what I've been working on for the better part of a year now, first I think it's best you guys understand the why.
If you ride like lightning, you're gonna crash.
A little over 2 years ago, I hit what felt like the lowest point in my life. At least this far. One of my best friends passed away tragically in a motorcycle accident. He was only 25 years old. We had plans of traveling all over the world together with my other best friend, Matt, and now all that was seemingly impossible. The three of us had an irreplaceable bond, and I'll forever have to grieve that. We balanced each other out more than anything, and I've always looked up to Jared for never being afraid of being himself. Whether he was making us laugh or being a fearless adventure junkie, Jared always knew how to lift others up. I miss him a lot. Not too long after his passing, I parted ways with a partner with whom I was certain at the time I was going to spend the rest of my life with. I think somewhere between all the bottled up grief and having watched someone I loved more than anything give up, I lost myself. I realized I focused so much time and energy on trying to fix my relationship that I stopped taking care of myself and doing the things that made me happy. I've spent a lot of my life planning and chasing happiness in the future rather than simply just enjoying the present. And somewhere along that line, I think I got caught up in life itself. Time flies when the world shuts down for a year and has to pick itself up, but even more if you let it. I think it really took me experiencing these losses to wake up and stop sacrificing any more of my time for a little extra money, or for a future that was never guaranteed, even if promises were made. Be grateful and intentional with who you have while you have them. This is something that you're taught and you hear, but it's not until it's your loved one who passes when things truly click into perspective. Working through grief is difficult, and I'm not ashamed to admit I'm still healing, and I will be for a long time. But I made a promise to myself that I would heal and move past the things I can't change. Start planting new seeds in old passions, I told myself. To new beginnings. I began to get back out into the world after what felt like years staying home saving money, returning to things I loved like music and videography. I picked up some new hobbies like rock climbing and even started working to get my drone license to finally see the world from the skies. I took these one day at a time and focused only on what I could control. The only problem was, I was still caught up on things out of my control. Years of being reluctant to post and putting myself out there because I had this idea in my head that my life needed to be something more than ordinary. The fantastic life of Max, if you will. Having ADHD, I've always been creative but self-conscious and hyper-aware of others' opinions. A dreamer willing to chase after it, but also pre-wired to be anxious. Maybe it's being a perfectionist or the rise in toxic hustle culture that made me feel like I needed to be perfect in order to post content. Or maybe the pressure was always just something I placed on myself. Regardless, I'm learning to document my life without worrying either way. I'll admit the one thing I've procrastinated is really starting this YouTube channel, and I've always wanted to have a place where I could express myself creatively and share some of my ideas and experiences. Sort of have more than memories and photos to look back on in life when I'm old and wrinkly. And maybe, just maybe, something I say or do along my journey will resonate with one of you watching and inspire you to chase after your dreams, the same way I continue to chase mine today. Now, chasing your dreams can be terrifying, and sometimes it requires that you take a leap of faith, or at least embrace some discomfort. So that's exactly what I plan on doing. You see, I realized about 11 months ago that it doesn't really matter how much money I have saved up. The market in Florida and all over is awful regardless. I moved back home after graduating during the COVID pandemic, and I refused to move out to an apartment and spend any money on renting. But that was years ago. Now, I can't act like the economy is in any better shape than it was then, or any less scary for that matter. But to be honest, even if I was able to afford a house in Florida right now, the beach just doesn't call to me the same way the mountains do.
I grew up in Colorado and missed the seasons more than anything. So until I can afford a house for less than an arm and a leg, introducing my new home.
For the next few years of my life, I'll be traveling around the USA, exploring all the places I've dreamed of getting to see, all while working remotely. National parks, falls, caves, breweries, you name it. Wherever I want to see, I'll park and see it. Obviously, a ton of time, research, and man hours have gone into planning this journey, and converting this weekend vacation camper to an actual home has been quite the project. Between installing full interior and exterior security, reliable portable internet, charting over 15,000 miles, and all the other lovely RV lifestyle obstacles, it's been a year of growth, patience, and learning to embrace the suck in all things. The moral in all of this is life is short, time is precious, and time spent with those you love is never wasted. Be kind to others, but love yourself first. Give yourself grace for being a human being and forgive yourself for the mistakes you were bound to make. If you made it this far, just know that words alone can't express my appreciation. In addition to launching my channel, I am also launching my website where I'll be posting additional content such as blogs and pretty much anything else that won't be on my socials. Now, I'm still getting used to being in front of a camera rather than behind it, and I can't promise I'll have a set schedule for posting anything soon. I want something sustainable but void of pressure. I'll find the balance. But until then, I look to you, person watching this video right now, and say this. Dust off your camera, pick up that book, start that hobby you've been putting off. Just get started. Plant those seeds and tend to them. I know it's easier said than done, but taking the first step is always worth it. I think you'll thank yourself for it in the end. I know I did.
You can't hear the generator. Generator, can't even hear the generator. Dude, come on. What is the zoom on that? Ah, I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, let me just use the...
Oh, he's calling me.
That was definitely worth it.
Really?
That was like...
That was worth the adrenaline rush?
Yeah, that was like... super hard rock climbing. For a kid who has no idea how to rock climb.
Jeez. Yeah, and that would have been...